Welcome back for another video. Who are the best players to buy for Game Week 17? We've got 4 game weeks in 11 days, so it's the crunch time part of the season, where a good run could completely change your season in a short space of time. Let's break it down nice and simple, discussing the best players to buy in each position. So just looking at the fixtures, there's actually quite a few showing a lot of clean sheet potential next week. Raya's got Everton away, Man City home to West Ham, Bournemouth are home to Burnley, and Brentford have got Wolves away. So it's a 3-way tie top of the table this week, with Raya, Donnarumma and Petrovic all on 4.0 projected points on FPL Review. With so many good fixtures lined up, it is a good week to free hit if you still got the chip. If I had mine active, I think I'd actually go for Petrovic in goal, and then basically use those City and Arsenal spots on outfield players, so like Timber, Calafiori, Saka, O'Reilly, Foden, Haaland, etc. Over the season, Raya, Petrovic and Kelleher have actually underperformed in terms of XG prevented, which might surprise you. XG prevented measures expected goals on target minus the number of goals actually conceded, so it kind of gauges the quality of goalkeeping and shot stopping. Petrovic is actually third worst, and minus 3.8 in that respect. Kelleher minus 3.5, so they should have more clean sheets than they do. Martinez and Henderson have been best in the league in that respect, both on plus 2.7 XG prevented, thanks to some top class saves. Obviously it's not the be all and end all of who's a good keeper or not, but it's still interesting data to me. Roofs, again unsurprisingly, has done amazing for XG prevented. He's now the top scoring keeper again after that clean sheet against Newcastle, while Raya conceded to Wolves despite 0.38 XGC. As far as overall defence quality, Arsenal's still miles ahead of everyone else, with only 10 goals conceded. That's 5 fewer than next best. 9.9 XG conceded is about 8 XG fewer than next best as well, which is Newcastle, and then it's Man City, and then it's Palace. Only 16 big chances conceded by Arsenal, also league leading. All of my data tables are public in the Scout members area if you want to take a look at them. There's a link in the description for 50% off as well. Once you're in there, just go to public data tables in the members area, search my name, and you'll find all the tables that I use for FPL. Ramsdale's stint in goal hasn't gone as well as he would have hoped. No clean sheets in 4 appearances, and it sounds like Pope could even be back next game week. Before the Sunderland game, Howe said he's the closest of all the players out injured to returning, but we'll have to wait and see on his availability. The rumour is that Burn has picked up a rib fracture from that derby, which is not great. Newcastle could be down to 4 senior defenders currently. If you've still got Pope at this stage, I'd be inclined to keep hold still, unless you can buy Raya perhaps, assuming that Pope's back next game week anyway. Newcastle hit a great run of games from game week 19 onwards, so you might sell him just when he's about to hit some form and pick up the points again. Let's talk defenders next then, and this week O'Reilly tops our table. He's on 5.1 points. I mean, what a breakout season it's been for him. What was it, like 50 million on 8 Nori, only for O'Reilly to have out this breakout campaign. And of course 8 Nori's also left for AFCON anyway. I wouldn't expect him back until maybe around game week 21 or 22 based on progression odds, so it's the perfect time to buy O'Reilly. There's every chance that he does hold down that spot as well, even when 8 Nori's back. Like, that was the situation before he left. He's without a doubt in Pep's best 11 right now, and he's got an eye for goal as well. I think it's 1 goal, 3 assists this season. Mateus Nunes as well, by the way, he did get the assist and the clean sheet last match. He's on 4.2 projected points, so just barely misses out on making the table due to slightly lower expected minutes than O'Reilly basically. Just in case Pep randomly starts Kuzanov or Lewis and right back or something like that, but he should still be solid for starts, and he's the same price, both 5.3 mil, and he's been growing into that right back role week by week. Defender expected goal involvement rankings this season has Timber top on 4.1 XGI, then it's Munoz 3.8 XGI, and then it's O'Reilly in third, 3.1 XGI. And O'Reilly has started 12 out of a possible 16 games. His first start came in game week 4. Senesi and Truff are on the table as well because they've got that Burnley home game. Bournemouth's fixtures just basically aren't great beyond game week 17, so I'd avoid buying them besides on a free hit. If you got them, certainly keep them for this week and then maybe sell. Calafiori returns from suspension, so he's expected to come straight back into the 11 and left back next match, and I think he's an amazing option for 5.7 mil. That's 0.8 million cheaper than Timber. Fortunately, Timber was fine to start last match after some doubts, as was Saliba. So the Arsenal defence gradually getting back to full strength, though obviously they did lose White to injury, which isn't ideal, because why it's still very important to kind of give Timber that occasional rest, especially, as I say, when we've got 4 game weeks in 11 days coming up. Arsenal face Everton next, who have just lost Ndai and Ghana Gay to AFCON, possibly Dewsbury Hall and Grealish to injury as well, so that could be a huge number of starters missing. If you're looking at cheap defenders, then rather than Senesi or Truffer, I would actually look at Van den Berg, who I think looks better. More projected points for the next 5, they've got more fixtures basically that you'd be happy to start him in from now until the end of January, so beyond the next 5 as well. Collins is great as well, but he's on 4 yellows, so 1 more before 19 games played and he's suspended for a game. And Van den Berg, in fairness, 0.4 million cheaper, so I wouldn't risk it. Midfielders next, and it's another City player at top of the table. It's Foden on 6.2 points. Not significantly ahead of Semenyo, who's second on 6.0 points. That's 55 points in Foden's last 4 games. That's more points than he'd scored in his previous 23 games combined before that. And that's the first time in FPL history that he's managed 4 double-digit returns in a row. For comparison, last season in Salah's record-breaking FPL season, the most double-digit returns he hit in a row was also 4. So it's truly a crazy run that Foden's on. And will he make it 5 in a row? He's the number 1 priority transfer this week, giving Man City home to West Ham, who cannot stop conceding, and they've now lost Juve and Wan-Bissaka to AFCON. If you've got him already, then you're in a good position because you can spend transfers elsewhere or maybe even roll. I mean, it might sound mad, but Semenyo is someone that's worth considering even if it's only for 1 week and then hop back off him. Though to consider this, you ideally need to have a strong team that doesn't have other areas that need improvement. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be 1 week. You can hold him for Brentford away and get me 18 as well, then sell him. The midfield really picks itself if you're on a free hit. Foden, Semenyo, Bruno, Saka, plus Sharda if you're on a 3-5-2, I'd say. I mean, Sharda has served his suspension as well now after accruing 5 yellows, so he returns this game against Wolves, who are another one that cannot stop conceding. Wilson creeps in at the bottom of the table. He's on 4.5 projected points. I've got to hold my hands up here and say he's been proving me wrong. Like every year, I feel like the last 3 or 4 years, he's gone through these purple patches and then, you know, Silva ends up rotating him or the form stops, but he's having a great season and his minutes are better as well. So it does look like Wilson's going to have his best season ever. Fulham have got Forest home next, and then it's West Ham away, then it's Palace away. So he does look a great cheap enabler for 5.5 mil. Much more exciting than, you know, an Anderson type mid where you just want the defcons really. Anderson's on 3.8 projected points. We definitely don't sell Minte for him this week. The table suggests that it's a sideways move this week to sell Minte for Wilson. If you're on a free hit, then obviously you could throw in Cherki over someone like Sharda, who in theory should start given his recent performances. He's really looking sharp lately. As a reminder, there are a few midweek games before Gameweek 17. City are one of those games. Chelsea play Cardiff away in the League Cup on Tuesday. Man City are home to Brentford on Wednesday, Newcastle home to Fulham, and then Palace play on Thursday in Europa Conference League. So hopefully those key assets like O'Reilly, Foden, Cherki maybe on a free hit, and Haaland get a nice midweek rest before next game week. Speaking of key assets, let's have a look at forwards next. Now, about 1.4 million managers bought Thiago last game week only for him to not register a shot. 0.0 XG for him. I mean, there was a Dango penalty won, but it was ruled offside, so fine margins from what could have been another penalty plus bonus for Thiago. He's second on the table this week though, so he's still perfectly fine to buy him. It's a pretty dreadful list of forwards though, isn't it, all things considered. It does feel like the midfield and the defence is where the points and value are right now, on a 4-5-1, 3-5-2, maybe 4-4-2, but I don't know, front 3 formation just hasn't done consistently well lately. I mean, last game week, if you had Ekitike in there, then obviously you probably had a very good game week after his brace for that 13-pointer. He did take 7 shots, in fact, which is more than any player on the weekend's games. And Gakpo's out for a couple of weeks, so in theory his minutes should be pretty good. Plus Isak did miss out as well last match. I just feel like he's too expensive to tempt me personally for 8.5 mil. Again, we were talking about him on the deadline stream actually, and I was saying on a free hit, I think he's great, but otherwise probably not. I'd rather save 1 million and look at someone like Bowen from Gameweek 18. Obviously no Bowen on the table this week, away to City next, but he's one of those, he's completely nailed. He plays 90 every match. So you can't say either of those about Ekitike, first of all. And then he's West Ham's talisman, and he's got amazing fixtures from Gameweek 18 if you can get to him. 1 mil cheaper than Ekitike, under 10% owned. Let us know your transfer plans in the comments below. And if you are in the 30% of viewers not subscribed, hit the button below as well. Come join us. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon for the next one.